and welcome to the latest edition of Cruising with the Coaches, a conversation with Julie and Lee. Co-host Lee here. I got to get it right. So I'm just both ways, right? You'll be on one side or the other. I don't know which one. With co-host Julie. How are you, Julie Cruz?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hanging in there. It's been a month, so I cleaned the brush, so we're good. No breakouts. No. I know I said that last episode, right, and was talking about the actual cleanliness for guys. I really was shocked, though, right, that when my face was like on fire, I could look in the mirror, and if I had shaved, I would have been just red everywhere. I was like, bro, what are you doing, right? Like, I mean, this is a shame. But that's Gen X for you, right? We don't care. We don't care. We just run around. We
rolling with it.
That's what I'm saying, right? If I shouldn't have said anything, right? Should have just dealt with it, right? I'm gonna be tough. Let my face burn.
Boils and everything like that. I'm fine.
I promise you, that's how it felt. And I was like, but I don't want to go to the doctor. Like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, there's got to be something before I go to the doctor to figure out, right?
Right.
And of course, it was a simple thing, but yeah, I mean,
Well, at least it was an easy fix.
There you go.
Yeah.
And now I know better.
Yes. Yeah. That's good.
And speaking of Gen Xers, I think that we both qualify for that, right?
Yes.
And we've talked about Gen Zers before. We've definitely mentioned boomers on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Don't really talk about millennials that much, but today's episode, we're going to focus on us. on the Gen Xers, man. This is, some outdated behaviors that I'm just going to say some Gen Xers might need to let go of. Okay? I'm not attacking us. I'm not saying, I'm just saying some. All right?
Gotcha.
So let's get into the first couple here, right? As we know, every generation has its own quirks. And Gen Xers, yes, we have been praised for resilience, independence, and a no-nonsense attitude. Absolutely. But some of those habits have not aged well, right? The first one is constantly reminding people how tough things used to be. So while we grew up without smartphones, yes, we had to rewind cassettes with pencils. And no, we did not have our feelings coddled. But constantly bringing it up can it can come off as dismissive. And honestly, today's challenges are just different, right? But I got to come out on camera for a quick second here. Yes, we had cassettes. And yes, we rewound them with the eraser of a pencil. Yes, that's a thing.
I mean, but we did it because it was broken.
It was broken.
It wasn't like we did it to like rewind the song. So it wasn't.
Right. We could fix cassette tapes.
Yeah, we could fix cassettes. Yeah, it was fixing it. So
yeah, had to set that straight because we did. But I know there might be people who watch this or listen to it and they're like, "Wait, what's a cassette?"
True.
What is a cassette? So I'm just saying.
My kids would be like, rewind? What? Like, replay?
Oh, you mean, go back a frame? Go back. Yeah, right.
Yeah, they're like, rewind? Huh? What? Well.
Yeah, we grew up without smartphones too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did. Don't know how we made it, but having to print out directions, having to remember where you were going. But yeah, we did it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we could go down memory lane here. Well, I think this is a big one. And this is one that we have definitely talked about in other episodes too. But it's has not aged well, and it's not cool to think that being emotionally closed off is a strength, right? While a lot of us have been raised to and emotions were not encouraged to be talked about, we were told to, yes, quote, suck it up and deal with it, end quote. But shutting down emotional conversations or never sharing what you're feeling, that can make it exhausting to connect on a deeper level with you. So just come up briefly.
Yeah, that's so true.
It's we have talked about this many times in many different ways, right?
Yes.
I don't think that applies to us though, honestly. I think
To us, as in you and I, because I know it's the generation for sure.
The generation as a whole, 100%, 100%.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, you and I as individuals,
yes,
we have done some work and learned that this is important stuff that we have to do.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. No, but generation as a whole, absolutely.
Yeah. Because they'll be like, should we check on him? Should we check on her? Or, they'll be like,
no,
why? You're like, what?
Well, you're saying why not?
Yeah, like they're fine. I'm like,
yeah.
Did you not see that dark post that like, like you'll see a post and you're kind of like, is it me or did you see?
Am I reading something into that? Right.
Am I reading it? I read that too, and I thought maybe, but then they're fine. They're fine.
Yeah. and the fact that I haven't seen them for a couple of days,
right? And I'm like, I don't think they're fine. I think we should check. Well check, guys. It's well check time.
I mean, I again, supervisor at work is a Gen Xer, right? I mentioned something to him about one of my coworkers, like, hey man, I know this coworker did something that was out of context, or not out of context, but out of ordinary for this particular coworker. Yeah, out of character. And I was like, hey, I'm just letting you know that I checked in with them to make sure what they did out of character wasn't because of the stuff that I know is going on in their personal life, right? Mm-hmm. And the supervisor was like, so? It's like, why did I even bother? But the coworker appreciated me doing that, right? To say, hey, I see this was out of character. Are you good? Because I know that X, Y, and Z is going on in your life currently. So were you distracted by that? And if so, like, cool. Just I'm having that conversation with you, right?
Right.
But like I said that to my supervisor, and they were like, yeah, so I kept it moving. Yeah.
Like you should ask, like, hello. But then, as management, it is kind of a thin line, between getting too involved. It's probably better for you to get involved rather than it is for them anyways.
Right.
But it's just kind of like,
I was just like, ooh, but okay. Like there's something serious going on. Like, yeah, I won't put his business out there, but I'm just saying, yeah, right.
or I'll have the friend where you do reach out and they like totally blow it off, like, yeah, I'm good, blah 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 blah, and then they just start talking about something totally different, and you're just kind of like,
you're like, yeah, right. I'm not
okay, like whatever. And then the next day it sinks in, and they're like, da, 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 and you're like, okay, but you had to open the door. You know what I mean? Like if you didn't open the door, they wouldn't have known that they could have let that out.
Or you could have said, yeah, no, I want to talk about that yesterday. Like today I'm good. Like I got my own stuff to talk about today, but yeah, that you missed the boat on that one. Yeah.
That door's closed now. Thank you. Bye-bye.
You have to wait till next Tuesday. Sorry. That's your check-in day, okay? Oh, that's a nice idea.
What?
Have check-in days. Yeah. Everybody have check
people, or just
but so that's the only day they can do that. Yeah.
You can't only have a problem on Tuesday.
You better write it down so you don't forget. I'm just saying.
You better stick with that.
I'm just saying, but leave a voice note in your phone. Like, hey,
stop.
See, this is why Gen X can't get nothing done. Right? This is why we can't do it. Yeah. Oh man.
There you go. Snarkiness for
there you go. Right? Did that not come up at the perfect time? Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Over relying on sarcasm or cynicism.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
And
well,
that is a
yeah, go
hard
ahead.
that is a hard one because let me tell you, we are snarky. I mean, like I I have to
Ooh,
say that while
own
I
it,
do
girl. That's
have
right. Own it.
a snarky, I am snarky,
Hmm.
but like I've learned to simmer down with that a
Sure,
bit. Like
sure.
I've learned to
To dial it back. So,
dial
yeah,
it back a lot because what
yeah.
I might find funny, someone else does not find quite as funny. Or when I am saying something for even for myself, like I might be saying
Mhm.
something and someone, you know how, the big joke, too soon? Is it too soon? I find with me, it's always too soon because unless I said it's okay, don't you
Every-
dare say
I
anything.
can say it, but you, you have to wait till
You
next
and I do a
Tuesday.
lot of that. You and I do a lot of that. Like Lee can say it, but you can't say
But
it. Like don't. Uh,
exactly.
if your name ain't Lee, you can't
How
say that to
how
me.
dare you?
Yeah, if you ain't Lee,
Mm-mm.
you can't say that to me. Period. Like I just no. There's just certain people who
Mhm.
like I do. Like I could
Yeah,
count on one hand like people who can literally get away with saying just about anything to me. But
facts,
but
facts.
if you ain't
If
on
you're if
you
you're
ain't on
outside
my
of and you have an extra finger to count too, like you only got four. No,
hand. It might I could count on this hand. I can count on this
oh,
hand. But
see,
yeah.
we you know what? We never should have done a Gen X episode
That's on
because
you. That's on
it's
you.
it's so wrong. I can't believe the sarcasm and cynicism. I totally forgot the order of them. And of course, I'm sitting here making the sarcastic joke about, oh, that's a good idea to have people on certain days. And here you go. Right.
Oh,
Maybe that's not aging well for me. There you go, folks. That's our love. That's our love language. That's how we work. But you can't rant all the time because people might be like, "Ooh, I'm gonna start sliding away from that." You know?
right. Facts.
Oh man. So number 4 is treating technology like the enemy, right? I'm not gonna bust you out. I promise. I'm not gonna bust you out. But
Oh,
but
snap.
but if your reaction to new tech or it is like ugh, or I don't get TikTok, or kids are glued to their phones, right? Pump the brakes, take a
Oh,
breath, right?
my gosh.
You don't have to like every app or new technology. I'm trying so hard not to use the E word in technology, the EMOJI. I'm trying not to use that word. I'm not gonna bust you out. I'm not gonna bust you
Because you
out.
know how I feel about it. But no, like even with technology anymore, like medically speaking, which is so funny because like that our generation and the ages that we are becoming, we're getting a little bit
Yeah,
more in line with our health and what have you.
true,
But
true.
like medically, like everything's online, right? Like you
Oh, I
got your
know. Yeah,
my chart and lesson,
it's a
like
all
all this
portal. Yeah, every portal
every
here, portal there.
portal,
Yeah,
portal that, portal
yeah.
that. And so like, oh my God. So I had a dentist appointment. And so
Mhm.
everything was text. You have your appointment, then you have da da da, and
Get
you
the
got the phone.
reminder, get the calendar reminder. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh, don't
yeah.
forget to fill out your forms. And then I was like, so probably like by the fifth text, because this is all text. By the fifth text, I'm looking, I'm like, I will be damned if I fill out my forms via text. Like, there is no way I'm going to sit here with my phone, sitting and filling out my freaking. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not
Gi-
doing it. I was like, I
Give
will
me
go
some paper.
fill
I
out
want
my
to.
piece of paper and a pen like a normal human being.
So one of the things that's not in this list is being petty, right? Like that's acceptable.
Petty, petty Betty. I am petty Betty for sure. Oh my god,
Oh,
so
that is
funny,
too funny, man. Well,
so funny.
it's also like the work I do with Weight Watchers, and it's a weird thing because obviously we're coming up on the 60th, 50th celebration, something like that, right? It's been around for a while. Yeah, for Weight
Correct.
Watchers. And obviously it started with women in person, right? But they're in a weird space because they are trying to still hold on to members who that means something to, but also step into this new space, right? Digital age, online. Like I do everything I do is pretty much virtual, right? With them.
Mhm.
So it's just a weird space, and I see that, and it's I see a lot of Gen Xers do have a issue with they're like, well, I've been on Weight Watchers this long, and they want the paper tracker, and they want this. They
They probably
push,
still remember the little board where you had to flip the little thing. Like I remember those.
yeah,
Yeah,
and they push so much to the app while it makes sense and while it's intuitive, very intuitive app. Um, yeah, a lot of people fight it, not just boomers and beyond. Some of the Gen Xers are fighting it too. So
yeah, I
that's
feel it.
the tech issue. But
Yeah,
yeah, no, we won't talk too much more about tech. We won't.
yeah, over it.
Wait, can I do that? Am I allowed to?
No, no,
But that was my real thumb. That wasn't no too. Oh wait, hold on.
too
Too
close,
soon? Too
too
soon?
soon, too soon.
Oh, this is man,
Oh,
it's spiraling downhill, but down the drain. Why don't we take a break here because we've got about three or four more things, not tips, things that are not aging well from Gen Xers. So let's take a break here. Julie and I are going to kind of try to regather ourselves, regroup because we feel attacked right now, and we'll come back after the break with the rest of the outdated Gen X ideas. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, folks, welcome back from the break. Latest episode of Cruising with the Coaches, conversation with Julie and Lee. Not sure if we're composed yet, but we're chatting about Gen X, and I don't know about you, but I mean, I'm good with being Gen X, right? Like, wouldn't trade it. Wouldn't trade it. Uh oh. Uh oh.
I mean, I guess not. I mean, we can't change it. It is what it is.
I mean, I don't know. I might try to change the number on my birth certificate. Right? Like, I mean, you could change it. I mean, legally, right? If
I think
if someone could, if they could
our
legally change your
mindset,
name,
yeah. Well, and I think our mindset is always going to be, don't hate us because you ain't us. Like that's just who we are.
that's right. Y'all want to be us.
Exactly. But I mean, I don't know. I don't I feel like we are. I don't know. We're such an interesting generation. Because
They said we're forgotten. We ain't forgotten. We just
I
don't
know
never.
who says we're forgotten. They think we're forgotten.
Oh, that when it's talking about the different generations, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
calls us the forgotten generation. Absolutely.
Really?
I don't know how or why,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
when I see like memes and stuff, it's always like, but you don't want to pick at them either. Let them be. Let them.
Yeah.
It's probably because of sarcasm and cynicism, right? Like we don't care.
Like, don't sleep on us. That's for sure.
We won't start it, but we'll finish it for sure.
Exactly.
So we got a few more Gen X ideas that are not aging well. So let's go ahead and jump into those. We already talked about technology. So this one is kind of true, right? Like believing that hard work is the only thing that matters. While we're big on the grind, right? Keep your head down and you'll succeed. Um, it's okay to work smarter, have boundaries, and prioritize your mental health. That's now part of the equation. And if you're shaming others, excuse me, for not hustling harder, or if burnout is part of the job, right? Like being stuck is in that mindset is more harmful than helpful. So like that's one that I'm okay with letting go of, right? Like hard work counts. It
Mhm.
counts for something.
Right.
But there are more things to it, right? I like the boundaries that I've placed, right? I'm
Right.
okay with telling the job no sometimes, you know? And go ahead.
I think our generation has the harder time with um watching the I don't want to say
Mhm.
the underdog, but um the younger folks coming in
And getting
and
what they
getting what they want and not paying their dues. I think our generation has the
Mhm.
harder time watching that unfold.
I
Uh,
think that's our generation is that split, right?
yes,
Because it's what millennials after us is, right? Is that it?
yes, yes,
And
yes.
they came in prioritizing certain things and Gen Z's taking it over. Yes, where we had to
Correct.
be stuck with what boomers had done and all that. So
Yes,
yes, I'm with you on that, right? Like you got to
yes.
earn it. You got to earn it. You do, it's not just given, right? It's
Right,
it's
right.
it's like respect. Like, you don't
Yes,
just automatically gain it just because you're somebody. You've got
right,
to earn that from me, you know? So for the job, you got to earn what you get. But
but if that other person comes in and gets that,
mhm, mhm. It
I'm sorry to tell you, you may have management, but you're going to have to still earn that
oh,
respect from that person
that you're working with.
who you're working
Yeah.
with. Like
Earn it
we are
double though.
still that
It's
weird.
no,
And
it
I don't know that that's ever going to go away.
but
I
remember
mean,
it's okay to be petty. Like that's
yeah,
not on the list. We're allowed to be petty. That's okay.
I don't know if it's okay, but it's
Oh,
definitely going to happen.
oh, being petty is allowed. It's okay. Sometimes it's acceptable.
Yeah,
Yes.
we are definitely that generation. Like it's
Oh yeah. That's but you're right. That's the split because it I see it even with so again, coworker, talking about a coworker. Now he's no longer working there,
okay.
but dude came in and he was good, right? Good at the job, learned quickly, so cool. Like went to the office and was like, "Yo, I want this." Got raises for freelancers. Whoa. Okay. Went back in like, "Hey, I want to learn this and I want to learn that and like I want y'all to pay for it." Okay. And they did all that. right? It's like, but I mean, I've been here for 10 years, and I've put that on my goals, and I don't get that. What? You know what I mean? Like,
Did you ever ask?
it was in every year in my review. Oh, what are your goals for next year? Well, I'd like this, and this, right? And some of those things I listed,
Okay.
but I never walked into the office and said, "Hey, I want y'all to pay for it." But, he did some things, and he's no longer there, and I am. So,
Okay. Okay.
but I did learn, because when I went back, right, I was part-time for a little bit. When I went back full-time, I learned. I was like, well, I'll come back, but for this, let's have negotiation, right? If we don't get here, I'm not coming back, right? So
Gotcha.
I learned.
Okay.
But yeah, that was yeah. So I get it. I get it. This is I'll let you go first on this one, but clinging to rigid gender roles, right? That doesn't age well. And we've kind of talked about this in other episodes too, that we grew up with very clear ideas of what men and women should do. Men fix stuff, women nurture, right? But let's face it, roles have changed and lines have blurred a lot. So if you're still expecting women to handle all of the emotional work, or if a stay-at-home dad is kind of odd to you, that mindset might be draining to others. But I said I'd let you go first, so I'll let you go first.
No, that's not even what that was about. I have learned to there are certain folks that I have learned that I just cannot have these conversations with within my generation. Just period. Like, in order for us to maintain our friendships, I just
can't talk about it. Yeah.
Just can't talk about it. Just because and purely out of respect for the relationship, because we are never going to agree. So
and there's no middle ground. There's no bridge. There's no yeah.
We're good. So, there's just times where conversations are taking place and Juju's just quiet because she's got nothing to share. Because I didn't get to where I am in my life by being the people you're talking about, but that's okay. You obviously don't respect who I am and what I represent because you don't see me, is what you're basically telling me.
Oh, but
we good.
But you're different. You and I have both gotten that, but you're different. You're not like them, right? So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit here and.
But you know what I'm saying? So it's just literally like when you're sitting there and you're hearing the dialogue.
Oh, you mean your husband doesn't do that? Sorry. That's one.
And it's just like, or like,
yeah.
Or it could even be the simplest things, like the front yard looks good or whatever, and they just assume my son did it, and I'm just sitting there going,
I was going to say, oh, your son did, and wait, and you're like, do you know my son?
You mean Boo Boo, who's upstairs playing with his PC? Okay, yeah, Boo Boo did that. Okay, let me stop.
Oh,
I mean, honestly, it's legit. It's a collective. I mean, it's me, my daughter, and my son. Like, between we're cutting, we're trimming, we're edging. We all do it. So
but it's not you don't expect him to do it because he's a boy, right?
Exactly. But it's just again, there are certain conversations within this generation that I choose not to have because I will not get the same respect. Just bottom line. I just don't. It doesn't matter. Yeah. I mean, I am who I am. They know who I am. But I'm going to be lumped into the fact that I'm a woman. So
So even though you've achieved this and this, it must be because it so
there's just no point. So I just won't
Yep.
talk.
Like,
I just quiet.
well, on a different note, not quite that one, but with the gender fluidity, right? A disclaimer, like I'm all for that. I'm all
Mhm.
for being who you need to be, right?
Mhm.
In order to feel comfortable. 100%.
Yes.
Don't have any
Yes.
problem with that.
Yes.
The one thing that I stand by is this has to do with pronouns when they're the they, right?
How you more than one person?
But, but here's my reasoning, and I spell it out. And even me and my daughter have had this conversation. She was like, "Okay, I get what you're saying, right? Medically speaking, there is multiple personality disorder,
Sure.
and that is more than one person inside of a physical body. That's a fractured mind,
Sure.
different personalities. That is they. That is they.
Mhm.
If you are not dealing with that disorder, that is difficult for me to see someone as they. I
Mhm.
still respect it, right? If that's what they want to use, but that's the framework that I work with they, right?
Sure. Sure.
And so when she was like, I see your point. I'm like, I'm not trying to make a change. I'm not saying it's wrong, right?
Right.
But there's a distinct difference, and that's a medical issue. That's a mental issue, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So I'm like, be careful, because unless you don't want to be diagnosed with that,
Right.
you
Right.
know, like that's a thing. That's a thing.
Yes. Yes.
That's the only thing. That's the only challenge that I have with the gender fluidity and all that.
Okay.
Rest of it, again, I think most people. Well, I would say most people are logical, but that's a really bad blanket statement to make.
So, I
I don't
mean,
mean that.
full transparency
Hmm.
with the gender issue.
Hmm.
I do have an issue with a person who is going back and forth. When I say back and forth, I say if
Hmm.
you have decided that you are going to live your life as a man,
Hmm.
okay, and let's say you have lived your life as a man, you are
Is
now,
there a time limit? Say 20, 30 years or 15, whatever. Is there a time limit, or does it matter? Doesn't matter.
but then now you're in a partnership, okay, and now you want to have a baby.
I'm with you on
Like,
this one.
that is the one
I'm,
piece that is the one piece that I personally cannot wrap my head around,
yeah.
because that's where, like, I don't think it's fair that you get to choose. Like, you can't go back. You're like, so I mean, I know that's eh, I
No. I'm gonna help you with this one because I'm with you on that.
okay.
Do you remember there was an episode of Oprah where it was this man is pregnant, and I was like,
Yes.
hold up,
Yes.
and I
Yes.
was
That's
like,
exactly what I'm saying.
right,
Yeah.
right. So I get it that they were living as a man, had the beard, all the outside, even had certain surgeries, right?
Mhm.
Partner was a woman, cool. The difference was that this man, right, chose to keep their uterus.
Mhm.
And so I'm with you on that. That's a challenge for me too, right?
It's a
Because
challenge for me. I'm not saying
right,
it's right or it's wrong. I'm just saying
mm-mm.
it's a challenge for me.
It is
That's
a challenge for me because I have a hard time thinking that a man can have a uterus. Like that's not a thing. It's not a thing in the natural world.
correct.
So that's why that's a challenge for me, right?
Correct.
And it was from that episode where I felt that way. I'm like, I'm all for however. Now, if you want to have a baby, the two of you, if you want to live as a man, you need to get rid of your uterus. You can't carry, but
Mhm.
then have a surrogate or whatever it is. Like, there are other options that other couples go through when they are struggling to have kids, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So I'm with you on that. That is a
Yeah.
challenge for me too. That's a challenge.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Men don't want to have babies. Like, I'm just saying, I'm good. Like, I'll leave that.
A man who formerly was a woman is pregnant.
So I'm glad you remember the episode because yeah.
Man who formerly was a woman is pregnant. It's not a man who's not pregnant.
Was like nope.
Right.
All right. Yeah. We're Gen X. Did you?
We're not doing uterus transplants, so
and don't plan to. I haven't seen one yet.
Nope.
Oh man. Well, this is the last one, and I think this goes along with one of the other ones. But assuming that silence is strength, right? That whole strong silent type, the idea that's in the past, as we have continued to talk about on this show several times, healthy relationships need communication. Whether it's your partner, whether it's the kids, whether it's coworkers, right? That's healthy relationships. Keeping it bottled up, that's not being noble. It just makes it harder. And not burdening someone with your feelings actually leads to distancing, confusion, or resentment, you know? But I go back to even though we won't stay silent, you might have to deal with sarcasm and cynicism. Like, I'm sorry, you might have to deal with that, but we'll try to roll it back. We'll try to dial it back. But yeah, I think that's fair, right? Don't stay silent. Like communication is good. It's good.
I do think though we might be a generation who's a little bit more in tune with our energy as far as needing to be silent, like understanding like
I see that
what I have to offer, the energy at this point is not going to be anything that's worth anybody's gain.
Productive, right? Being silent for good reason
is both good for you and me.
more you than me, but yeah,
it's gonna be good for both of us if I remain silent. I do find that we are that generation where like a lot of the other ones, because they've had social media, because they like it's immediately that spillage, that spewing and just and putting it all out there and they can't bring it back, where I think with us it's kind of like I'm feeling this type of way, and you know what, I know it's not due to you and I shouldn't do it to you,
so I don't need to
to myself, kind of a
exactly
thing.
I'm going to deal with it before I bring it out on you. So just a little teaser, there was another article that was kind of related to this. It was, I think, 9 things that Gen X, do or whatever, but some of them are actually worth it, right? And that was one of them, learning and knowing not to say something, right? Like that's a good thing. There's or also, like, we didn't grow up with smartphones and the age of the internet, so the being able to be private, right? It's like keeping things private for a reason. We don't have to share everything on IG, on TikTok. The world doesn't need to see me at my best and my worst. Like, I don't always have to put my best, but there are certain things that only the handful of people that know, they're going to know. Right? Everybody doesn't know. So there was another article that related to a lot of that too. So Gen Xers aren't so bad. We're next time I suggest a Gen X topic, just shoot me down. Say no. We're not doing that.
No, it was fun. I liked it.
Yeah. No, that was cool because it actually, I don't know about you, but I reflected on some of it, and I was like, okay, I've worked through that. Oh, still sarcastic, cynic. Okay, yeah. But no, there was. We had to be fair though, right? If we're going to talk about others, we gotta put ourselves out there too. So.
True.
We'll go, folks. We hope you've had fun with us. talking about ourselves. If you want more, you know where to find us. Search on Spotify. Look for the Live All Good podcast. Look for Cruising with the Coaches episodes. You will see them there. Also, visit the YouTube page. Leave some comments. Tell us what was funny, what was not funny. I mean, I know that I'm hilarious. I know that Julie is hilarious. But if y'all think so, let us know. Right. Also, don't forget to subscribe and you'll get the latest episodes and latest content. So that's it. That's all we got. No more Gen X talk. Till the next episode, Lee and Julie signing off.